Hello everyone, I invite you to the Friday cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on the BTC pair to USDT, taking into account the 4-hour interval. First, we will use blue lines to mark the local uptrend channel in which the BTC price is moving in the upper limit. Now we can move on to marking the places of support in the event of a correction. And here, in the first place, it is worth marking the support at $30,592. When we go lower, the second support is at $30,318. Then we have a strong support zone from $30,072 to $29,826, and then support at $29,523. Looking the other way, in a similar way, using the trend-based fib extension tool, we can determine the places of resistance. The price must first break the first resistance at $30,911. When it manages to break the second resistance is at $31,311, then $31,694, and then the resistance at $32,258. Please pay attention to the CHOP index, which indicates that most of the energy has been used. The MACD indicator indicates the maintenance of the local uptrend, while the RSI is moving above the upper limit of the range. Despite slight increases, we can still expect an upcoming rebound that will cool down the indicators before further increases. As the second chart in today's review, we'll be looking at ETH versus USDT on a one-day timeframe. As we can see, the price broke the main downtrend line and then exited the downtrend channel above. We are currently moving in a new uptrend channel. Now let's move on to marking the places of support. We will use the fib retracement tool to mark the support, and as you can see we have the first support at $1,841. When the price goes lower we have a strong support zone from $1,658 to $1,507, and then we have support at $1,364. Looking the other way, we can also mark the places where the price should encounter resistance on the way to increases. And here we have the first very strong resistance at the price of $2,236. When the price goes up and positively tests it, the second resistance will be encountered at the price of $2,558, then the third resistance at the price of $3,010, and the next fourth resistance at the price of $3,585. It is worth paying attention to the EMA cross 50 and 200, which indicate the place of return to an uptrend after a long-term downward trend. The CHOP index indicates that the energy has been used. The MACD indicator indicates an ongoing uptrend. On the other hand, on the RSI, we have crossed the upper border of the range, which may weaken the further increase in the price and give some moments of rest. As the third, we will check the DOT chart on the 4-hour interval. As we can see, the price is moving in the uptrend channel. Let's start by marking the support spots for the price, and we see that we first have a support zone from $6.46 to $6.21. However, if the price goes lower, we have a second support zone from $6.01 to $5.80. Looking the other way, we can similarly determine the places of resistance that the price has to face. And here we see that the price is currently fighting a strong resistance at $6.85 equal to 0.618 fib. We continue to have a strong resistance at $7.31. Once the price breaks it, it will move towards the resistance at $7.90. The CHOP index indicates that the energy has been used up. The MACD indicates that the uptrend is maintained, while the RSI has crossed the upper limit of the range, which, according to our rule, often ends with a price rebound, and so we see a small correction. Last in today's chart is the MATIC chart in pair to USDT, as before on the 4-hour interval. First, we will use the blue lines to mark the downtrend channel where the price is moving sideways from the downtrend line. Moving on, we can move on to marking support areas when we start a larger correction. And here we are approaching a strong support zone from $1.13 to $1.10. However, if the price goes lower, we have a second strong support zone from $1.06 to 94 cents, and then we can mark the support line at 94 cents. Looking the other way, we see that the price hit the important resistance zone from $1.18 to $1.26, where it immediately turned around. However, if we manage to break out of this zone above, we have the second resistance at $1.33, and then the third resistance at $1.44. Please look at the CHOP index, which indicates that the energy on the 4-hour interval has been used. The MACD indicates the maintenance of the local uptrend, while the RSI shows a strong rebound right after crossing the upper limit of the range. Technical analysis is provided by a third party, and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.